All right. Good evening, everyone. All right. We got a few people in here. Emery's welcome. Chris, welcome. Luna, thank you. Thank you. Ooh, you know what? You reminded me. I did not fill my coffee cup yet. I appreciate the support and the cup of coffee. Unity, good to see you. And Animal Man, welcome. All right. Got quite a few people in here already. If you're just getting in here, be sure you hit the like button. It lets YouTube know you like the work we're doing. Support the channel. Helps the algorithm know so that they keep putting it out in front of everybody. Just so y'all know, want to remind you of that. Let's see. 7LVX. Hello, good to see you. Little Earth Dragon. Good to see you. And yeah, Chris, I'm actually doing pretty good. I'm hanging in there. I am. Had a really good week. Been busy. Been busy. Had a lot of stuff to do. Just got my hands on a bunch of new research materials that I'm going to be plowing through. So that's going to be a lot of reading and note taking that I got to do. A good chunk of it's actually on the Airs Goetia. I'm wanting to do an entire series on the 72 spirits of the Goetia. I get a lot of questions about them. So I'm wanting to do that. So I'm pulling all my old journals on that, and I'm wanting to get through some of this newer research material before I start filming. I don't know. It has just been a really good week, and I don't necessarily know why, but you know what? I'm not going to knock it. You got a good week, you take a good week, you run with it because, hey, it was a good week, right? So there was that. This might be a little shorter stream than normal because I do actually have a friend that is coming by. And I want to make sure I spend some time with them. Been a while. But it's not going to cut into us too bad, people. Don't worry. We got plenty of time. Jamu, good to see you. Terror, hey, man. Good to see you. Not late. We're just getting the general starting gab out. Chris, I'm glad it's Friday dealing with my son's online school and my art. I feel you. I need to read more and do more research and meditation. Journals too. I need to write more. I'm happy. Yeah. Oh man. I got so many friends that are dealing with the online school stuff. Y'all know me and Mrs. Dragon Mystic. We got no kids, I think, but I think you know that anyway. I mean, I know we don't got them. But we do have a lot of friends who do. And man, that online schooling, whew, that sounds rough. My hat's off to you parents that are dealing with that right now. And journals, I cannot tell you, everyone keep your journals. They are so very, very important. The only journal I ever say don't keep is a shadow working journal. You want to burn that, you want to get rid of that because that helps get rid of that energy in your life. So do make sure you're burning those, but keep your other ones so you can pull them and look at your research notes and go back to them. It comes from some old jobs because I used to have to keep file folders on different things, but I actually categorize my journals and I have a coding system so that even my online notes and everything, it'll actually show me which of my journals that those notes are being pulled from. Let's see. And Barnoldas, welcome. Frederick, hello from California's Lost Coast. Hey, I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the channel. But I need the starter gab. Well, we do have fun up in here with the starter gab. Oh, I see Peachy just popped in. And Smoke. Hey, you made it. I came up with a concept for a dragon species. Okay. The cats are your kids. I don't have cats. We used to. They've all passed on. So we currently have no pets. The only thing running through this house is dragons and stuff. Chris, my son's 8, so 2nd grade. Ooh, yeah, that is a fun one. Let's see. Obsidia, my cat is my kid. There you go, Obsidia. I know. Mrs. Dragon Mystic has already hinted at getting another cat. We discussed a dog at one point because I really love dogs. I'm more of a dog person. Right now, with as much as we move and different things, we just ain't got time for a dog. So I have a suspicion when she gets back, the cat topic will probably be brought back up. And there may be a possibility she can talk me into it. So far, I've been hardlining for no pets. I've kind of enjoyed not having to deal with them. Little Earth Dragon. I'm trying to balance my time with my dragons, work, self-care, and self-care. Oh boy. Yeah, it is. It does get tricky. When it comes to self-care though, I know a friend of mine, what she did to help balance that is she would actually take long, hot bubble baths, which she'd do the face mask. I don't, is face mask the right word? Anyways, it's the goop on the face. I think face mask is the right word. We'll go face mask. Any of you ladies out there know what it is, you can give me the proper term. But she would actually start the hot bath with the ritual and invite her dragons in to basically do the spa day routine with her. So she's getting that self-care and that time with her dragons, which I thought was a pretty interesting idea. Oh yeah, those random journals come in handy, Chris. They really do. Tarot, yeah, starting a journal can be a hard habit to get into, but it is one of the most valuable habits too. Let's see. I'll be honest, people. I'm a journal junkie. I have journals for practically every research project I've got. My wife actually laughs at me over that. I keep a general day-to-day journal for just the random events and thoughts and feelings and stuff like that. But I also keep detailed research journals on projects. Yeah, Smoke, 5 minutes late, but hey, that's better. I think last time you showed up, I felt bad. I think I pretty much was logging off when you got here, man. So it's good to see you. Glad you can make it. Let's see. Smoke, cats are wonderful animals. I was thinking adopted by a feral being, keeping a lot of unwanted animals out. Cats are nice animals. They really are. They can get moody, but I almost like the attitude of cat cops. I mean, I'm just a general person who enjoys attitude. I like spunkiness in people and animals. Um, Hassam asks, "Hi, is this witchcraft?" Well, we do discuss magic and witchcraft on here quite often. Um, but as far as this specific, that's a chat room. Bernaldez, trust me, half the time I forget to write in my journal. Bernaldez, improve that game. You know, Little Earth Dragon, I could actually see some dragons playing with uh, rubber duckies. I really do. So far, the meditation log, journal, dream journal, shadow workbook, but meditation journals and dream journals are really handy, no doubt. Let's see. I don't worship anyone, Hassim. I don't. I think we do have a few Luciferian practitioners in here. I have worked with Lucifer a time or two. Well, more than that. I do not worship him. I'm not a religious person under any light. I approach magic as a science, and as such, I approach all entities as respected equals, friends, and allies, nothing more. Um, but there are people in here who are Luciferian practitioners and do worship Lucifer in that form. Um, and that's what they do. So, I mean, we're just a bunch of people who all enjoy magic and we're willing to discuss it, talk about it, and share without any bickering, which is, by the way, mugs up to the community because y'all's great about that no bickering clause. I love it. Let's see. Look at Hasim. You can take you and your baby Jesus and go bye-bye. Let's see here. Moderators, keep an eye out for Hasim in case they pop back up. Do feel free to block them. All right, let's see. You see that, people? The channel's moving up in the world. We're moving up. I think that is our first religious nutter. Let's raise a mug to that. Yeah. Actually, a little surprised it took this long. Just saying. All right, but let's just drop it at that. No drama or anything like that, It's going to happen. Oh, Lord. So this type of comments in a while. I don't think we've ever seen them in here, Luna. I mean, we had one. I don't know if they were religious or what. They were out there. I mean, they were like out there Pluto, but I don't blame that one on religion personally. Um, no, I agree with you, Tara. Jesus is pretty cool. It is bad when people, stir it up, but hey, we got other things to do. All right, people. We asked Hazim to leave us alone. Let's leave Hazim alone. All right. Is it possible to be like Fafnir and turned into a dragon? Also, is Leviathan a dragon or a fallen? Blake Clog or Clague? That's actually a pretty good question. Fafnir is not a dragon, nor was he ever actually a true dragon. Fafnir was only a dwarf polymorphed into a draconic form, and he chose to stay in that form. To my knowledge, I have not found anything within the physical realm that actually would make that possible. So no, I'm going to have to say that personally, as far as physically transforming yourself into a dragon, at least with our understanding of magic at this time, no, it is not possible. Also, is Leviathan a dragon or a fallen? That's highly, highly debated. Highly debated. But then again, the fact that fallen themselves, the existence of fallen, is even debated because there's a good, massive chunk of gnosis and lore to show that no angel ever fell. They just left. It was a disagreement. So that kind of gets into a religious topic. But as far as Leviathan being a dragon, yes, he is a dragon. In all things that I've worked with him over the years, he is indeed a dragon. And let's see. Well, I mean, you can definitely use Obsidia asked collected rainwater recently. Is there any ideas for using it? You can definitely use it in any of your water magics or weather magics. Rainwater also makes really, really good sun and moon water as well if you wanted to use it for that. Thank you. Yeah, I think we should have blocked them sooner. Admin, just so you know ahead of time, if you get someone coming in that keeps doing that stuff, just hide them from the channel, get rid of them, because seriously, report them, do anything you can. If I haven't gotten to it, so it's all good. It has been a minute. We've been lucky. We actually got a good, solid community here. We're pretty lucky. Tonight I ate tacos. I'm thinking about lasagna tonight. Oh, so many people do not understand the symbolism, and honestly, it's largely Hollywood. Hollywood's the one that took the symbols and gave the masses exposure to it in a very, very wrong light. Let's see. We're back. Obsidian. Thank you. No problem. No problem. I'm glad you was able to get some rainwater. We have an overflowing abundance here because it's been doing nothing but raining. Looks like everybody's having tacos. Nope, the lasagna's all mine. Well, okay, I have to share it with my house guests, don't I? Yeah, okay, I have to share. It's a southern crime not to share, so I have to share. Oh, man. Welcome, Jay. Glad you can make it. Tell them. Ritual magic what? Is that a statement, a question? Could you define it, please? Appreciate that. Let's see, Chris, I want to ask you what you think of chakras in the body and the Kundalini energy. I researched it, and it reminds me of dragons and actual energy like magic users use. Yeah, okay. This is actually a really good question. First off, Kundalini deals with the energy within us and raising that very natural, very primal, very emotional energy that is extremely powerful. And that's the reason Kundalini can get a bit overwhelming because we spend our whole lives trying to suppress a lot of this energy. And the best thing most people can relate to when it comes to full release of Kundalini energy, at least in the physical sensation, is orgasm, little death. Only it's going to last longer, and it's not just going to be the physical sensations itself. It's also going to be energetic, and it's going to open your astral senses all at once and just kind of expand your energetic body. Many people actually get the same effect from the Dragon Flame meditation in the 101 course. Now, what do I think of chakras? Honestly, chakras are a wonderful system to map out the energy body, but that's the key thing. That's what they are. They're an energy map. They're not a literal position. There's not literal points in your body spiraling around. And that's the reason you actually have a lot of people, and I mean, you can even search it here on YouTube, who do rituals to literally remove their chakras. But it's not that they're taking their energy body and ripping it out. They're removing the concept of those individual sections so they can work with their energy body as a singular whole. And for some people, working with it as a singular whole is far more efficient, far more effective, and far more powerful. However, you do have people who like that classification. It does seem to work better for them. So yeah, and honestly, the energy that's being worked with through the chakras and through Kundalini You are absolutely correct. That is the same energy that a magical practitioner of any kind would be, would be wielding. So your insights are pretty spot on there. All right. Dragons love music, Emery. They really do. They love energies and vibrations, and music is strict vibrations. They absolutely love music. What are good ways to improve intuition, especially trust in intuition? Um, 7 LVX. That one is there's no shortcuts. It's honestly you're going to have to take chances and evaluate. This is something that is very very hard to do, and I know many magicians, and even including myself. You'll see my friends, and they'll talk about how my intuition is always spot on. And I'll be honest, I still question my intuition. I'm always guarded. I always, even when I'm trusting it, even when I'm following it, I stay guarded and I stay ready. I always want to stay ready to react in case something goes sideways on me. That's just how I live my life. For those people who trust their intuition 100%, they've always told me it's about letting go. It's about trusting it. And as it continually proves true and true, that trust just gets more and more natural. That's not something I've been able to do. I always have to have that guarded section of me. That's just my comfort zone. Welcome, Sophia. Blake Chang, thanks for answering. Uh, Thanks for answering. What ending will happen to the world? Ragnarok and Shiva. All different mythologies have their own personal ending of the world, and they're not actually the ending of the world. In fact, if you actually take the time to go in and read the Havamal and the Eddas, and you read the story of Ragnarok, you find out Ragnarok happens and the world continues. It is the end of a cycle, not a literal end of the world. Ragnarok has already happened multiple times, and the rebirth has happened multiple times. Chris, thank you. I appreciate. No problem. No problem. That is just my 2 cents on the matter. In fact, I keep coming across the chakra removal philosophies, and it's an interesting philosophy. I'm still kind of um, weighing in on where I stand on that particular ritual. I see its benefits, I understand it, um, but one of the reasons I don't talk as much about it is just because it is something new that's popping up, and I'm getting a bit more exposure to. So until I fully get a chance to really sit down and roll it over really good, I always keep a broad, open mind and a pro and con on it. You know what I mean? That's just how I am. I try to stay objective on all things as much as I can. See, little Earth Dragon question from my sister. Hey, sis, what advice could you give someone wanting to use the runes for shadow work? Well, the runes are actually very, very potent for shadow work. They really are. In fact, Wunyo is actually really nice to incorporate in your shadow workings because it is that joy, it is that happiness, it is that well-being rune. So it can actually kind of soften some of the blows of shadow work. But the runes are very, very direct and blunt. They like to cut to the quick of the matter. And because of that, they can be very, very potent in your shadow workings. But they will trigger the shadow workings and they will open those gateways up quickly. So if you've not already done like the shadow working process that we talked about in the first shadow working video we did, beginner shadow working, where you're essentially distilling the shadow through a journaling process, um, I'm not sure I'd recommend it for a first time beginner, but then there are people that they actually do better with, just rip the Band-Aid off, jump full on in, and take the licks, get the crap knocked down if you get back up and move on. There are people who function really, really well that way. So I can't really per se say which one's best. People should, in theory, a person knows themselves best. But yeah, the runes are absolutely wonderful for shadow work. And yeah, speaking with Odin, he would be a great advisor for shadow work and working with the runes accordingly. Tell him, what would you suggest doing as a ritual for looking for a better job? Well, tell him that really depends on the individual's skill level. But if you're a beginner, the easiest one is if you actually go on this channel in the playlist for spells, you will see a long-term prosperity spell there. That spell, you literally do that spell exactly as it's set up and just put in prosperity and a better job in that exact spell working. And that spell and that ritual method for that spell will do it. And that's a very beginner-friendly version to do it. In fact, I know at least 50 people from the community here on this channel that their entire lives have turned around, careers and everything, because of that one spell. So for a beginner, that's where I'd start. Let's see here. Where was I? Oh, crap. I got lost. To make the Tara, do you have any tips on how to start practice with tarot or oracle cards, especially trusting your intuition when you put the cards, when you pull the cards and such? Yeah, actually. Okay. The biggest tip when it comes to tarot cards or oracle cards, the first thing you want to do when you get the deck is you're going to want to start drilling the cards so you get at least 3 to 4 of the keywords from the cards. Most tarot decks will come with like that little book, and it'll give you 3 or 4 keywords usually with the book. And you want to memorize those. Now, what do I mean by drilling? I literally mean you want to take and flashcard those things so you can sort through them and name those three or 4 things off from memory, just like that. And you want those 3 or 4 things every single time. Now, once you have those 3 or 4 things, that gives you a baseline of the general meaning of that card. So what you want to do at that point is you want to start doing your readings, and you want to lay out your cards, and you want to think on those. But then when you think on those and you're doing your readings, you got the general meanings that you've memorized, so you can get a general reading pretty easy peasy, got the cards right in front of you. But you want to start going deeper and ask yourself, what's the card saying to you about those general meanings? And you start letting that card speak to you more in-depthly, and you write it down. You put it in a tarot journal. And it's easy to go back and see your accuracies. It's easy to go back. And what I like to do is I like to put this in my daily journal, just my day-to-day journal. So I do my readings either the night before or the morning of, and then after the day, I can go back to the journal and I can compare them. It's a fantastic way to actually see how you're doing on your tarot readings. In fact, I've been meaning to do a tarot video, so I actually should do that. I feel like I have a hard time connecting to human deities because of the outlook on said humans. I connect more with dragons in mythology and animals in myth in general. Chris, yeah, we all got our own things. I mean, different things. I have a lot of trouble connecting with a lot of different entities. For some reason, the Norse philosophy, that whole self-sufficiency, that whole self-accountability, I kind of jive with that. I think that's why me and the Norse get along so well, which is also why I get along so well with the dragons. But There's many of the other pantheons, though I can work with them if need be. They're not my go-tos, and unless I have to, I don't. So I totally understand that. But it's, as far as any advice about what can you do to fix that, the best thing I could tell you is actually just sit down and chat with them, get to know them one-on-one, the same way you would a person. I mean, we all got that friend that we can point at them and say, I would have never thought any way in hell, me and that person would ever get along and be friends. But you sat down, you talked, and you found out y'all had a bit more in common than you originally thought. Try not to let biased and old viewpoints get in the way. Because if you're letting a biased get in the way before you've ever spoken with an entity, you need to look more at yourself. Try to remain objective in all things. Can a charged gemstone work as a dragon offering? Oh yeah, totally. I use crystal quartz to put energy in as dragon offerings all the time. But you can use any gemstone. You can even use fake ones. Let's see. Tarot journal, yeah, sounds like a good. Yeah, y'all's probably tired of me saying the word journal by now. Introverted alchemist is candle flickering a good sign when contacting dragons and spirits. Candle flickering can mean a lot of things, introverted alchemist. I really don't recommend you use it as any indicator of any kind. Because unless you're in a perfect absolute vacuum, that flame can flicker for any number of reasons that has nothing to do with energy or entities. I mean, you can actually be a good 8 foot away from a candle doing your working, and your breath in low, just really shallow breath will slowly move the air in the room to push the candle and make it flicker. And it will actually start flickering quite erratically too, because now it's got a good constant stream once it gets there. So I really don't advise that. And when a person tells me they've cut off all air, unless they're in a perfect vacuum, that's not actually possible. And if they're in a perfect vacuum, then, well, they're not breathing. They're kind of dead. So there's a bit of a problem. So I generally tell people not to rely on candle flickers. Let's see here. Savorn Trizin. Do you have an operation for increasing magical strength? I use a Tumo style technique, though I have found that not many will like it. Well, in the Dragon Magic 101 course, I know we talk about this a little bit. I think we talk about it in the meditation course too, where we use energy cycling to build energy in the body until the point where it actually bursts out and expand, and then we continue the process further. And the more energy you move through your body over time, it's naturally going to build up that magical energy. And as that magical energy builds up, it also builds up your magical strength. So, I mean, that's a pretty easy and natural way to do it. Blake Clegg, can beings take actual physical form? I had a professor who claimed Odin wanted to meet him from Europe, but the professor couldn't go, and a messenger came and said, sorry for the long question. I'll be honest with you. I've heard a lot of claims of this, and I've heard a lot of people claiming they can do this. I've never, ever actually seen any evidence of where an entity takes full physical, and when I say physical, I mean literally physical, tangible, see it, touch it, taste it form on the physical realm. When people talk about full physical evocation, what they're talking about is bringing the entity to the physical realm fully. It does not get a physical, tangible body. It just comes here. Now, that said, your professor could have been right. He could have been asked to go to Europe to do a ritual of that kind. I've actually heard of that. But that doesn't mean Odin himself took a physical, tangible form. But there are times in mythology where we hear beings doing this, supposedly, Odin actually being one of them. It's more likely that the being itself actually inhabits a body that's already here and utilizes that body for that conversation. You see this a lot in practices like voodoo, where the Loa actually ride the person during the ritual. Other entities can definitely do this. So a lot of people do believe that Odin and other entities, that's how they were manifesting in the physical realm during those myths. In fact, that's one of the reasons they could, he's wonders in disguise. The body itself could be viewed as a disguise, though I think the Edis actually speaks of it more in a literal, as he actually walked the earth and chose to shape change. But I have not at this point seen any proof of it otherwise. Let's see, Blake, I have a love for knowledge, but am nervous to actually practice due to religious thought of losing myself. Blake, I understand that there's a lot of people in that. I commend you for your open-mindedness and willingness to learn and study. That's awesome. That's a great thing. As far as your worries, I don't really know what to tell you. I mean, I don't try to go against a person's religion. I mean, you got your belief systems, and I'm not going to try and dissuade you from those. And it's a hard road. And be honest with you, I was there myself once. See, Chris, yeah, I know it's something with myself and my own energy being more animalistic than human and instinct take over. But the world has been hell lately, and humans haven't been the smartest lately. You are correct, Chris. You are. And to be honest with you, if we just give up on them, we're guilty of just letting it burn down. That's kind of the kicker. If you actually care, you can't just give up. That's kind of the catch-22 of the whole matter. Believe me, I have sat and meditated on that one myself a lot. 7LVX, are there angels or demons who can help with divination abilities? It's the one thing I'm sure I'll never master. Even tarot never worked well for me. Well, first off, let me let you in on a little tip and secret. There is no area of magic any human being on this planet will ever master, period. No matter how far you get, there's always more stuff to learn. You will never master it. But yeah, there are angels and demons that do help with divinations. I'll be honest with you right now, I'm drawing a blank on which ones. I do know that Ingus Solor and Coralegra, both of those two rulers are absolutely great for helping with divinations. And all guardian dragons are actually great at helping with divinations as well. I'm really kicking myself right now because it's just like I've got a full mind blank on what the entities would do good there. Little Earth Dragon. Yeah, Little Earth Dragon is correct. Working on your arcane senses will help a lot with divinations. A lot. Well, you can do it yourself, or you can get an entity to help. If you go to the playlist, we actually have a video on the arcane senses. It actually even gives some exercises to work on right there to help develop them all. And if you go to workingdragonmystic.com, you can even find a video on arcane site or a whole class on arcane site. Goes into detail, path working, and everything. And it's free of charge, man. Now, another thing is people think arcane sight is only a visual thing. When your arcane sight is opening, the reason the class focuses on it, you can perceive information. You see it through emotions. You see it through energy. It just starts to communicate. So if you're opening your arcane sight and you're getting impressions from something you're looking at, that's arcane sight, and you're doing it. So that's two resources you can definitely check out to get working on your arcane senses. So, yeah, good question. Yeah, Blake is correct. The lesser key of Solomon can definitely help. And if you go to the bottom of practically every video, we've released it for quite a while now. You'll see a list of books. One of those books is The Demons of Magick. That is a very beginner-friendly book on the Goetia and the 72 spirits of it. And it even gives you a short rundown on what they're good and skilled at. So that would be a good place to get started. Yeah, so Savant mastery just finds more questions than answers. It really does. There's no such thing as mastery. That's one reason I love what I do. Early in my life, my biggest thing was I would just throw myself at something until I memorized it. I knew it in and out. And then I'd get bored. I'd just be bored, and I'd be bored until I found that next thing to throw myself into. Magic has allowed me to throw myself into it in a way that I'm constantly learning. And I think the biggest drought I ever hit was like a week, and it wasn't really a drought. It was just I literally came to close on this massive path working I was doing, where I was like, "Whew, it's done." And I was like, I'm going to take a break. And I actually had planned like a month break. I was just going to do my general daily stuff, but I was going to just take a break. Didn't work. Within a week, I found the next thing and I was already diving into it. That is what I love about what I do. LVX, if you're not sure about working with entities, just start with the class and just start with the video here on the channel for Arcane Senses. Both of those are free resources, and they're strictly you developing your own abilities, man. See, Obsidian, it's time for dinner. I'm out, but thanks for the streaming. Have a good dinner, Obsidian. Oh, what? Oh, crap. Yep, I'm gonna have to get going too. Yeah, a break. Me, Mr. Workaholic. I tried. I failed. It didn't work. And honestly, if my wife hadn't kept me busy most of that week, it wouldn't have lasted that long. Honestly, I have to credit her for that because I think honestly, if it was just left to my own advices, I think within inside 24 hours, I'd already found something to occupy myself. I don't do breaks. I don't. I think you all have watched this channel well enough to know I am a workaholic and I love my research. Let's see. When you stop learning, you stop living. Amen, Smoke. Amen. If a corner, what is that circle in the back? I use the universal circle, but EA co-editing, it acts as a case. Yeah, okay. I know I know EA's universal circle. I've actually used it some. This behind me is the Dragon's Eye seal. We actually have an entire video on it. It can actually work as a gateway and a circle. Actually, it works. Yeah, it works generally similar to the universal circle that EA has, though this one is a bit more keyed and tuned for working with dragons and dragon magic and draconic currents. But because dragons do work with, no, they literally do work with all currents, they don't really set a limitation. It's really great for any working if you're wanting to do it. This one here you can find at, go to workingdragonmystic.com. You can click the merch. This particular tapestry is available, and it's printed on a tapestry, but it does work as a actual magic circle that you can lay out and utilize in your rituals. I utilize it for both ritual, I utilize it for gateways, and I also hang it up back here because when I am using it as a gateway, I use it on this wall and I sit over there. But yeah, it's a fantastic little item to have. We do talk about the Dragon's Eye seal in the class, the 101 class, but there's also a video on it that talks about it here on the channel. So check that out. And if you are interested in it, they are available at the workingdragonmystic.com. I don't remember the exact price of them. I want to say they're around $50, but they're really, really good quality. This one and me, I've took this thing camping and everything. They are very durable. But there is no bound spirits the way the dragons designed this. This one's not a binding type thing. Tara, before I go, okay, Tara, what is it? Oh, no. So it was not a honey-do list. My wife does not give honey-do. Oh my God, this will be our 21st year of marriage, and she has never once given me a honey-do list in 21 years of marriage. No, she actually she found a Renaissance fair. She found a steampunk convention, a Comic-Con, and she found a RPG bar and grill. And when I had a week off, they all just kind of lined up together, and she wanted to go. And we did. We hit them all up. It was a blast, absolute blast. So, all right, let's see what we got here. But I got to give my wife credit. She don't give me honey-do lists. Tara, do you follow the Dragon Art of Anne Stokes? She's making new Dragon Tarot deck. It's in the works now. I did see some of her art. I do know her artwork, actually. Her Dragon art is absolutely gorgeous. I do know someone made a tarot deck by her back in the day, and oh dear God, it was awful. Because the major arcana had her beautiful artwork on it. But all the other cards were about as generic as you could get. It was absolutely pathetic. So it's really good that she's actually, I hear you that you're saying she's making a new tarot deck, because that gives me hope that this one will be the Anne Stokes tarot deck that I was hoping that original one was, because I really do love her artwork. She mixes dragons in with those beautiful gothic colors and emotions that I really, really do love. So I'm a big fan of her art. I actually got to meet her at a Renaissance fair in Washington State once. So we do have a signed piece by her. I was a bit floored that she was there. I didn't know she went anyplace like that. Never. So that threw me. Let's see. Dragons can kill other dragons if they break the rules, right? But what happens if a human with a connection with them break their rules? Humans are, okay, first off, any connection we have with dragons, it's not a soul connection. They will not merge with our souls. It's damaging to them. So if you do something and you screw up, you're held accountable, not them. As long as they're not the ones poking and prodding you and making you do it, you're held accountable. So if you screw up and do something that breaks one of their rules, you're held to account, not them. That's one thing the dragons push is self-accountability. You are responsible for your individual actions, always. Even when someone else is telling you it's a good idea, you're still the one that has to make the choice to actually do it. So you are still held to account on that. Would you be willing to do a video on the various forms of divination, such as smoke, sense, scrying, and water? Yeah, actually, I do have a scrying video planned. And I was thinking about doing more of a series on it, so that might be a really great idea, Maurice, to break it down like that. All right, let's see. All right, people, I'm going to finish up this last little bit, and then I got to get going, seriously. All right. Before Born Oldest pops in here reminding me it didn't work. Let's see. No, I understand it's a brand new one. I'm actually looking forward to. I'll have to see if I can find a release date on it because I love her artwork. The last one was just kind of a cop out. Let's see. Luna, my co used to bring dragons printed. My co used to bring the dragon sigil printed on a beach towel you have on the website when you were practicing sigil gating. Yeah, the beach towel style altar cloths we got, those are amazing. That's actually what I take when I travel more now. Let's see, strong. Let's see. And there's Born again. All right, people. I'm going to hop off here. I hope you all enjoyed the video this week. I know we covered some of Conway's ethics and stuff. Definitely went into a deeper dive on them than what is covered in the books. And I got a lot of messages from you all about thanking me for helping clear those up, get a different viewpoint, all those different things. I am glad it helped. As many of you know, I occasionally steer clear from talking about her works because of how different we are in our approaches. But again, if it was not for her, I wouldn't share my research, my findings. And honestly, I do credit her for the encouragement. She's the very first person who told me I should share what the dragons have told me. So it was good to be able to do a video where I was able to share something her and I had sat down and talked about a bit and share the wisdom that we got on both sides of that fence. That was really, really a fun video for me to do. And if you look closely, you can see my eyes are a little red. And that's honestly because it was a little emotional too. It really was. I didn't think it would be. It surprised the tar out of me, but I did occasionally catch a tear or two up in there, and I don't know why. But I am thankful for her encouragement. I really am. Okay, everyone, you all have a wonderful night. I am going to go attempt to make a lasagna, and I'm going to go entertain a house guest. You all have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe. Keep your research going. If you haven't, get your journal started. I can't say it enough. The journal is the most important magical tool of any magician's life, period. That journal is your baby. You should keep it. Make sure you always have it. It is the most important. It's more valuable than any of your other tools, period, bar none. All right? Groovy. Glad we got that one out of the way. Y'all have a great weekend. I will see you Sunday for Magical Coffee Hour. We'll get together. We'll answer some more questions. We'll have a good time. And, of course, we will drink coffee. Take care. Good night.